What's happening, people? Welcome back to Out of the Loop. Thank you for joining me once again. So today is going to be a video on Vital. I'm going to make some sounds in Vital, which is a free soft synth VST. It's very similar to Serum, like almost identical, and there's a lot of things you can do with it. It's a lot of fun to use. So we're just going to dive in and we're going to make a bass, a pad, and then a pluck. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do first is a bass. As we have Vital open, this is the initial patch. When I do sound design, I always have an EQ up here just so I can see what things look like. And you see here with a sawtooth, you have this buzzy, very harmonic sound. If we switch to a sine wave, it's very singular. Not as much harmonics, very simple, but it's really like nice and pure. And then if we move along, this is kind of like a pulse width, maybe like a sine and a square squished together. This is a triangle. This is a saw. That's a square. See, you see they're very harmonically rich, which is good for like many things. So I'm going to actually keep it on the sawtooth. We're going to bring the volume up a little bit, and then I'm going to hold shift here and then just bring down the octave. Now we got that right, but we don't want the buzzing, so let's get rid of the buzz with a filter here. So I'm going to put it on 24 dBs per octave. It's just like a stronger filter, so it cuts out more of the buzz. And you can either just go like this. This would work as a bass. It's not very loud, but this would work. But we want a little bit of a attack. It's a little bit plain, right? So what we're going to do is leave this envelope like this, and then this second envelope, we're going to attach it to this filter, and we're going to bring that down a bit. So now it's opening every time we press something. But what we want is to actually just make it into like a kind of a pluck feeling. So you're getting the sustain of the normal amp, but you're getting this pluck. Oh, I did it on the wrong one. Okay, let me bring that up. I was wondering why it didn't make sense. Okay, let me remove this. Oh no, keep that on there, and then just... There we go. So let's just close this down a bit. There we go. So the main amp envelope is sustained all the way. It just stays stable. And then we have this attack envelope, giving it a little bit of character. Can put a bit of a release here, so it doesn't just close off too suddenly. Same with here. Okay, now let's make it sound nice and fat. We'll add a bit of drive. That helps a lot. But now this is where the magic happens. We add some unison. Oh, not that much. Okay, so now it's huge and wide. It's like a respace, which would be really cool in certain circumstances. But if you wanted to use this for your main bass, you might want to just reduce this unison a little bit. Keep the amount of voices, it's all good, but just reduce this percentage and then reduce the spread a little bit. So it's a little bit more centered. Really nice sound. We could actually put a little bit of a glide here. Because of that unison, it's making the waveforms just move around a lot as it's moving through the voices, and it's giving it that nice, like, kind of organic analog feel. You know, if you look at it here, it's just moving and moving. It's really nice. So we now want to just control it a little bit because it's a little bit crazy. So this multi-band compression is going to do upwards compression and downwards compression, meaning it's just going to bring out a lot of the lows, bring out a lot of the mids and the highs, but it's also going to control them a bit. But we don't want that much of the highs. Maybe even less. Maybe we could bring up more of the bass. Not too much, going a bit too loud now. I'm actually going to bring this down a little bit. We want bass, we want width and like strength, but we don't want to lose control of the sound. we go. Perfect. Okay, we can add a little bit more distortion after all this. Bring this mix down to like 50%, and then you can just push the drive. And it's just going to add more harmonics. Cool, now we've got this really nice fat bass. And you could, that's it really, you could call it a day there. You've got a lot of uses in this bass. But you could do more stuff. You could see with this envelope here, we could affect this decay with a macro. I'm going to put it on this one because I'm going to put that on something else. So now, and it's like you can just choose where you want that to go. So if you want to go all the way, or you can make it so it doesn't let you go all that too far here. So that's as far as you can go. But yeah, so now it's just opening up the sound. Like at some point you might want to do that, or just keep it where it was. And then we can put this, we can put the cutoff filter, we can put a macro here as well. Nice, and now, if you want to open the sound up, so we have a nice fat bass, and there's a lot of things you can do with that. You can go a lot further with it if you like to. If you wanted to add some kind of movement to it and things like that, you can start adding LFOs. But that's a nice basis of a bass for you, basically. Okay, so let's go and make a new sound. I'm going to just initiate this because I already have a bass like that. And now we're going to make a pad. I really like making pads; they're a lot of fun. So we need this kind of shape. So gradual building. You could do it like that, or you could have it like really quick. And then you could have for your filter, let's just take this resonance down. For your filter, you could make that open up slowly like this. So this envelope now, if I'm on the right one this time. So the sound comes in straight away. But then the filter opens up gradually, and we can just control that a little bit. I'm going to make this a little bit stronger. And that's like the basis of a pad. We want to add a bit of unison naturally for this. Keep it quite spread. And that's like a very good solid pad. You can get away with that. You don't need to really go much further. Maybe make it a bit louder. But if you want to then go further, you could then start putting like LFOs here, right? So let's put a bit of movement to this filter. You could do it like that, like a slow one. Or not even that slow, but this could be slower. Just going to reduce the spread a little bit. Right, but that's not that interesting. Let's go a little bit further, and we can go through these different. There we go. That's quite cool, but now we can make the pad into like a chord. So we could go like we can pitch this filter now. This oscillator is now going through no filter. It's going through filter 2, which is turned off, but we want to put it through filter 1. So it's going through the same filter, and then we can basically add the fifth, which is a very like classic thing to do. Gives it like a chord feeling. Sounds really nice. And then we add the same amount of unison. Or a little bit less, so the voices are, you can either have them so it all feels like they're together or slightly separate. That's really nice. Alright, and you could go further, you could add another voice here, but let's put this through the filter 1 again, and we could maybe put this on just higher. Maybe maybe just turn this one down a bit. You could attach this envelope to this, this LFO to the volume of this voice. So as that comes in, it's going to add more higher voices, and we need to add the unison again. It needs a bit of control. You can see it's peaking a bit there, so put some compression. Oh, that's really nice. It brings out the high end. And we can add some reverb now. I'm going to make the size pretty big, decay time pretty big, and actually bring up the mix. Control it a little bit more. I'm hearing a little bit of distortion. Bring down the bass a little bit. Or you could do parallel compression. That brings out the sound a bit more. It's a little less controlled. You can go further and add chorus if you want. It's really going to spread the sound. And then this, you could change the speed of it if you wanted to. Really nice sound, or you can go faster. And there's even more like interesting weird ones here. You can sync it so every time you press a key it'll be in time with each other. You could also do this, so say if we pick this one, we could put a delay so it doesn't happen straight away. It's like the start of the song for you there. Cool, so I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if it was or it wasn't. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, it'd be very helpful. Head over to the Patreon where I've been giving out some free Diva presets. I will be giving out a free Serum preset pack with about 30 different presets soon. I'm hoping to get it done in the next 2 weeks. It will only be for tier 2 in the Patreon, because obviously it takes me a lot of time to do, and like normally I could charge a lot of money for it. So yeah, head over to the Patreon to support there. It's probably the best way you can support the channel. And yeah, that's it guys. Thank you very much. I'll catch you next time.